Okay. First of all, thank you for doing this. But I tell you, when you sent me that this morning, I I knew what to expect because I saw Sister Tempest. And I had I put it on and I immediately I thought it was awesome. I laughed. I was like totally enthralled. It was weird as hell. So just awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
um
Thank you.
Anyway, I definitely had to laugh at the beginning because Kelly Russell asks you what the hell the movie's about, and that's sort of how I felt after it ended. After I watched the second time, I was like, okay, all right. But do you want to provide a synopsis for people that are about to see it at the festival?
I mean, as simple as possible, it's just a demented children's show. If you want to just keep it simple, about this guy, Uncle Bobo, um, who teaches children where oil comes from, which is basically from the blood of the dinosaurs. And that's just a simple version. The non-simple version, it's just a big existential crisis, is really what it is. It's a big midlife crisis for me, in poem form. And I think that's just more like a existential crisis that I think we've all had from the pandemic, and things like that. But it's just my an essay about God and um, sexuality and religion and, oh God, just all the different things that I've been pondering.
Yeah, nothing heavy about it at all there. So yeah, definitely existential crisis. Like, I mean, I think that can be felt in many of the different characters that are in it. You utilize a couple there, and they both
Yeah.
seem to be going through some things. Um,
Well, and this is actually the prologue to a bigger story.
So I was going to ask you about that, sort of closer to the end, so we could, sort of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
So I did want to ask you though. It feels like you're always dealing with a bigger crisis than what's actually sort of happening on screen.
Yes.
Your first movie,
The God Inside My Ear.
Yeah, the God Inside My Ear. She's dealing with a breakup, and it just becomes like otherworldly.
Yes.
Sister Tempest, her sister goes missing or runs away, and it's that becomes a whole nother thing in itself.
Yes.
Now, obviously, like I saw the pandemic stuff in it as well, and because it just felt very like the world's kind of crashing in on you.
Yeah.
But are we still just going through Elise's ayahuasca trip from my God? I think that's my.
We haven't finished it yet.
Yeah,
yes,
it's still happening.
We will make like a God Inside My Ear sequel that will just be basically her finally coming out of it. That'll just be the whole movie. Oh God, all these movies. That's kind of brilliant. I like that. I would totally do that now. we would actually start the movie with this and then go forward. That would be fantastic.
You go. Happy to help.
No problem.
But also I wanted to ask you artfully utilize like a lot of toys and things at the very start of this movie. First of all, I love it because you get this miniature-esque sort of Terrence Malick version of the world opening before it goes into anything. And then all of a sudden it's this sort of Wes Anderson nightmare.
Yes.
What is it about the art direction? Like, how did you decide that this was how this was going to look? Because it looks amazing.
It was just the cheapest way to do it. And that's all. It was like $25. So I was like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I built the mountains out of paper, just paper, like poster board, and everything. It was all from the Dollar Tree. So it was just like all hardboard, like poster board, and then soft poster board, and what is it? caulk. I just caulked the whole thing and then I spray painted it. So yeah, it was like that was like $7. So I was like, yes, that's cheaper than CGI.
Yeah,
I
no,
will do that. But also it's because I just love like the old Godzilla movies. I love things like Danger 5 is like one of my favorite TV shows, and that's all like miniatures. And Wes Anderson does the same thing as well. He does a lot of miniature work. It's just it's a really great look that's really cheap to do, you know.
yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I was just blown away. Like I couldn't stop. And then when you get to the Bobo parts.
Well, hold on real quick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sure.
Okay, so I'm going to make it sound like I know what I was talking about. This is kind of like it's kind of like a Sesame Street version of the Terrence Malick sort of thing, which works really well. I didn't just think of that till just now, but that is fucking great. It's brilliant, and I meant to do it. So there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, no problem.
Very, very unique though.
No problem. Hey, I'm a genius.
Yeah, there
I
you
just
go.
want to let you know that. Oh my God. You know how much bullshit directors do like that though? I mean, like honestly, I am just having fun. And so many directors will like pretend like there's so much more meaning than they really have. Like, come on, James Cameron, you're an idiot. Like that shit is not deep. Don't try to make it deep. It's just fun entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Just call James Cameron an idiot. Thanks.
You can only go up from here, Joe.
Oh, it's perfect. Anyway, keep going. Let's see how far I can dig my grave.
I also got charges out of some of the situational awkwardness of
Yes.
of Bobo. What is it about just some of the sort of like when he first shows up, it's that hum, it's like the creepy I've been waiting back here for X many days, you know. And
well, what was cool about that was so much of Vincent, the actor, because I wrote the script and had kind of a different idea in mind, a much more bumbling kind of predator that's very sweaty, that's like, you know, that kind of vibe. And he came at it like he was missing half of his brain. And I was like, wow, that is so creepy. That's so much creepier than I thought. So we leaned into the creepy and the slow. That really was going to be a much faster short film, but Vincent came at it so slowly and so precise. It was so terrifying that we had to lean into it. Like the whole scene with the Vincent, like, or Uncle Bobo, like ripping the baby doll head off, and it's like in the dark room. That whole scene was because it was Vincent had played it so creepy, and then my DP Daniel Waghorn like came up with that scene on the fly just from Vincent's creepiness. So we went to Daniel had a house that was like half done. It was they were working on it, so it looked like a predator would live there. And it was perfect. We did it like on the fly, really leaning into Vincent's performance. So there you go.
No, fantastic. I thought he was excellent. Vincent was
Oh
great.
my God.
Yes. It is. It's. I think people are going to get a real charge out of the whole thing because it's such a just mind blower. Like you're just sitting there and you're going, I don't know. Are you okay? Am I okay? Like that's what's going to happen in the theater.
Oh, good. Well, I hope so. It's a non-narrative, but I feel like I wanted still people to feel like they were still on a journey. And that's really, really hard when you don't have a singular narrative, you know?
So I think it is. And I think that goes back to, we were talking about Terrence Malick. That guy doesn't always do things correctly either.
Right.
This movie, I I felt like I had an idea, like even after it ended, and I was kind of like, I don't know what I just watched. At least I had some sort of idea. I was like, it's definitely like a midlife crisis. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
And on the second playthrough, I definitely was connecting dots. I saw religional aspects, and I saw pandemic aspects for sure. Like it's just it's all there. It's very deep. It's very like thrown in there, but it's I also feel like your other works do that too, though. Like there's all religion aspects are in, I think, all of your films.
All of them. Yeah.
So I didn't feel like it was far off from those. And by the end of it, when you do mention, we didn't even get to your part, Kaylee.
Right.
You go, okay, so first of all, there's more coming. And when I got to that, when you said that there was more coming, I felt like Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
Right.
You know, like I felt like this was going to be a chapter thing. And I don't know how many chapters there are, but I hope this goes on forever.
Well, there's going to be at least 3 more chapters, and we filmed it all, and we're editing it right now. And it was gonna just be another short film that was gonna be like 30 minutes instead of like 17. But we just shot so much that, and we're adding more into it. Like I don't want to go too far without feeling like I'm spoiling the style, but it's basically a movie inside of a movie, inside of another movie, inside of a book, inside of the behind the scenes of what's really happening. And then it all wraps together, and all those stories kind of converge in a weird way.
All right, no, I'm on board.
So, yeah, it was fun. Well, it was funny because while we were shooting, I was like really adamant about getting as much behind the scenes footage as possible, and nobody really understood. I was trying to explain to them, it's going to be like the main story is us just shooting the movie, and then we're going to go into the next layer of the film, and then go down deep, and then come back into reality again. And no one understood. Not even sure if I understand, but I kind of have an idea. So
you're like inceptioning movies.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
There's lots of incepting. Yes.
As long as it's weird as hell, I'm probably going to be there for it. Just
it's going to be real strange.
All right. Is there anything that you want to tell us about the upcut, like the Wheel of Heaven? Just sort of the plot or anything? Do you want to divulge any more information about it?
Yeah, it's basically like the main core short, the main core story is this woman that's a mechanic, and she buys a kind of choose your own adventure kind of book. We can't call it that, but we call it Determine Your Own Destiny. And the book's called Wheel of Heaven. And so she goes and reads the book. And so you're watching the movie be filmed on one end, and then you're watching her go into the book on the other end. And then there's a couple layers deep on both sides of that, because there's also a mentally challenged woman that is also an artist who is creating this story about her as a captain of a spaceship. And so that's also happening, and that actually converges into the other stories, and they kind of fly in and out of one another. So that's basically what's happening. And so all the main female characters in all those different stories are all played by Callie Russell. And then all the main male characters in all those various stories are played by Jeff Pearson. So there's like 2 main actors that tie all these stories together by playing different characters. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, the main theme really is kind of the death of misogyny. That's really the main theme. And that's really something that I've dealt with in my own life, being a Generation X kind of guy, and having to like, like you grow up and the world changes and you realize how wrong you are in a lot of ways, so like you realize how misogynist you are, and there's like a lot of things that need to be changed, and that's kind of me dealing with that in a nutshell. Also a giant existential crisis all the way around it, so there you go.
Just a lot going on.
Yes.
I think that's first of all, I think that's great, because I think that we all deal with that. We all grow up. I think we all grew up in a certain way with a certain way of thinking. We definitely believe in the values of our parents and things like that. And they get thrown onto us, and then we grow up and we have to change our own ways to move forward. So I think that's fantastic to incorporate any of that, because that seems very personal.
Yeah, well, every one of my films really has been just kind of masked with a lot of sugar and weirdness. So, because I like that saccharine coated. It's just something like all the puppet show stuff and all the weird art show stuff. It's just like great masks to hide behind. It's instead of just telling autobiographical stories that are like so personal that you'd be embarrassed to show anyone, this gives it a personality of its own, and people can interpret it however they want to. But the problem with that is it's like not commercially viable at all. So there you go. I'm just making movies for my own pleasure, I guess.
Well, I've been watching him, so you got one fan.
Thanks so much. It's like there's that old saying that it's men will do anything not to go through therapy, and that's exactly what this is, and it's so embarrassing. It is. So there you go.
Joe, thank you so much.
Yeah.